Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Or maybe you're just here because you found a weird looking penny in your couch cushions and heard it might be worth a fortune. Either way, you're in the right place. Today, we're talking about one of the most shocking, jaw-dropping, life-changing coins out there, the 1979 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny that's currently valued at a staggering $1.8 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny. 1 cent worth enough to buy a mansion, a sports car, or about 900 million gumballs. And today, we're diving deep into why this tiny copper coin is worth so much and how you might just have one hiding in your pocket. Stick around, because this is a story you don't want to miss. Normally, coins have a little letter on them that tells you where they were made. D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and so on. But if you take a close look at some 1979 pennies, you'll notice nothing. Nada. Zip. Just good old honest Abe staring at you like he knows something you don't. And he does. See, in 1979, the Philadelphia Mint was cranking out Lincoln pennies, but, for some reason, they didn't stamp them with a mint mark. This was a common practice for Philly, but not all no-mint mark pennies are valuable. So what makes this one so special? Here's where it gets interesting. A tiny batch of these pennies was struck with a rare and distinct error, a doubling effect known as a double diaburse. This means some details on Lincoln's portrait, especially around the words Liberty and In God We Trust, appear slightly doubled. And that tiny mistake? That's what turns an ordinary penny into a millionaire's dream. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, my buddy Joe, who knows absolutely nothing about coin collecting, found a penny on the sidewalk. It looked a little different, so he tossed it into a jar and forgot about it. Fast forward to a week later, we're at a flea market, and he jokingly asks a vendor, "Hey, how much do you think this penny is worth?" The guy takes one look at it and nearly drops his coffee. Turns out, it was a rare no-mint mark error penny from 1979. Now, unfortunately, Joe's wasn't the $1 million variety, but he still walked away with a couple $100 for what he thought was just pocket change. Moral of the story? Check your change, people. Well, grab a magnifying glass and look closely. If you spot clear doubling on the lettering and Lincoln's features, you might be holding a fortune in your hand. But here's the catch: not all doubling is valuable. Some are just common errors, but the strong, noticeable doubling is what gets collectors excited. If you think you've got a winner, don't just spend it on a soda. Take it to a coin expert or send it in for professional grading. The highest graded versions of this penny, in pristine condition, have sold for up to $1.8 million at auctions. That's not just lunch money, that's life-changing money. The incredible, unbelievable, yet totally real story of the 1979 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny worth a mind-blowing $1.8 million. Who knew something so small could be worth so much? And just imagine, right now, there could be one of these rare pennies sitting in your change jar, under your couch, or even in your pocket. Now, before you go tearing through your piggy bank, do me a favor. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on more hidden treasures like this one. And hey, leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin. Who knows, you might have the next $1 million penny. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Imagine this: you're out running errands, and you get some change back. You barely glance at it, but something tells you to take a closer look. And there it is, a 2013 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Looks ordinary, right? But what if I told you this little copper-colored coin could be worth a whopping $1.1 million? Yeah, you heard that right. And today, we're diving deep into what makes this coin so valuable, how you can find one, and how to turn spare change into serious cash. Well, most pennies minted in Philadelphia don't carry a mint mark, so that alone isn't what makes this coin special. What does make it special is an incredibly rare error, a combination of high demand from collectors, and a little bit of luck. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Some 2013 pennies were struck with errors that make them stand out. Maybe it's a double die, maybe it's a misprint, or perhaps it was a rare early strike before the dies were fully prepped. And collectors? They love a good error coin. One of these rare pennies, in pristine condition, sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. That's a whole mansion, from a penny, but let's talk about how you can actually find one of these. Because let's be real, not every 2013 penny is worth millions. I mean, if that were the case, we'd all be millionaires, right? The key is looking for signs of rare errors. Some of the biggest things to look out for include this happens when the coin's design gets imprinted twice, causing some letters or numbers to appear double. If the coin wasn't properly aligned when struck, part of the design might be missing. These are weird lumps or cracks on the coin caused by a broken die during minting. These are coins that have extra sharp details and a mirror-like finish because they were among the first ones struck. If you find a 2013 penny that looks even remotely weird, do yourself a favor, don't spend it. Instead, grab a magnifying glass, take some high-quality photos, and do some research. You can even get it graded by professional organizations like PCGS or NGC. That little step could mean the difference between a penny and a fortune. A buddy of mine, let's call him Mike, used to make fun of me for collecting coins. He thought it was just me hoarding pocket change for no reason. Well, one day, we were at a diner, and I saw a weird-looking penny in the tip tray. I swapped it out with one from my pocket, took it home, and boom, it turned out to be a rare error coin worth a few $1,000s. Let's just say Mike doesn't make fun of my hobby anymore. The next time you get change back, don't just toss it in your car's cup holder or let it disappear into your couch cushions. Take a second to check those pennies. That little moment of curiosity could literally change your life. And if you do find something interesting, share it with me in the comments. I'd love to hear your coin hunting success stories. Before we wrap up, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll be dropping more tips, tricks, and crazy stories about coins worth serious money. Who knows, your next lucky penny might just make you a millionaire. Alright, folks, imagine this. You're digging through an old jar of pennies, looking for some spare change for your morning coffee, when suddenly, you spot something odd. It's a 1993 Lincoln penny, but something is missing. There's no mint mark. You shrug, toss it in your pocket, and move on. Later, you decide to look it up, and boom, you just found a coin worth $1.2 million. Yep, you heard me right. A 1993 no mint mark Lincoln penny has been sold for a whopping $1.2 million. And the crazy part? Most people wouldn't even think twice about this little copper beauty. But not you. You're about to learn everything you need to know to spot one, why it's worth so much, and how you might have a fortune hiding in your change jar right now. Let's dive into the fascinating world of rare coins, where everyday pocket change can turn you into a millionaire overnight. Alright, let's break it down. Most pennies minted in 1993 have a little letter under the date, either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco if it was a proof coin. But every once in a while, a no mint mark penny slips through the cracks. And when that happens, collectors go wild. See, the US Mint is usually pretty good about making sure each coin gets its proper mint mark. But mistakes happen, and sometimes, pennies are struck without any mint mark at all. In 1993, only a handful of these error coins were ever discovered, making them extremely rare. And now, before you go dumping out your piggy bank, let's talk about what makes these coins valuable and how you can tell if you've got the real deal. Obviously, the big one. If there's no tiny letter under the year, you might have something special. Coins in better condition sell for way more. If yours looks fresh off the press with no scratches or wear, you're in luck. Some rare errors have slightly different weights due to the way they were struck. If your penny feels a little off, it's worth checking. Before you start spending that imaginary $1.2 million, you need to have an expert grade and certify your coin. This is the only way to confirm its value. Okay, let's talk money. Why would a simple 1-cent coin be worth more than a Lamborghini? There are probably fewer than 5 known examples of this penny. Scarcity drives up value in the collector world. Coin collectors love unique errors, and this one is top tier. The highest value 1993 no mint mark penny sold was in nearly perfect condition. The better the condition, the bigger the payday. I once met a guy at a coin show who found one of these in a parking lot. He almost tossed it before a friend told him to check it out. That penny? Sold for $850,000. Imagine losing that kind of money because you thought a coin was just junk. Alright, let's say you just dug through your couch cushions and bam. There it is, a 1993 no mint mark penny staring back at you. What's next? I know. It's tempting. But scrubbing your coin can ruin its value. Even a tiny scratch can turn $1 million penny into a $5 one. Send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. This will verify its authenticity and give it an official grade. You can either sell it privately to a serious collector or put it up for auction. The right buyer could make you a millionaire overnight. The humble little 1993 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that most people overlook but could secretly be worth a life-changing amount of money. If you've got one, you might just be holding onto $1.2 million in your hand. Before you go, do me a favor. Check your spare change, dig through your old coin collections, and maybe even raid your grandma's penny jar. You never know what kind of treasure you might find, and hey, if you love learning about rare and valuable coins, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. We've got more tips, tricks, and jaw-dropping coin values coming your way, who knows? The next video might just help you find another $1 million penny. Alright, listen up, folks. Have you ever found a penny on the ground, picked it up, and thought, well, that's one more cent I didn't have before? Now, imagine that penny wasn't just a regular old coin but was actually worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Yeah, you heard me right. A single 2018 Lincoln penny could be worth more than a Lamborghini, a house, or a lifetime supply of tacos. And today, we're going to break down exactly why this little copper coin is making collectors go absolutely nuts. So, grab your piggy banks, check under your couch cushions, and let's dive into the mystery of the 2018 Lincoln penny that could change your life. Worth exactly what you think they'd be, 1 cent. But then, there are the special ones. The rare, the unique, the chosen ones. And those? Well, they are turning heads in the coin collecting world. What makes this penny worth a cool $1.3 million? Drum roll, please. It's all about errors and rarity. This particular penny is valuable due to a crazy minting error that occurred at the Denver Mint. Some of these coins were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning, instead of the standard copper-coated zinc, they were minted on an older, all-copper planchet by mistake. The result? A penny that's way heavier than normal, has a richer color, and a collector's price tag that'll make you do a double take. And now, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was cleaning out my car, doing that once in a blue moon deep clean where you finally tackle the junk between the seats. And, lo and behold, there it was, a shiny 2018 penny staring back at me. My heart skipped a beat. Could this be the penny? The one worth $1 million? I grabbed my scale, weighed it, and, well, turns out it was just a regular penny. But hey, that's how close these life-changing finds can be. You never know until you check. Step 1, check for the D mint mark just below the year on the coin. A regular 2018 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. If yours weighs more, like around 3.1 grams, you might be onto something big. Step 3, check the color. If it has a deep, almost reddish hue instead of that bright zinc-like finish, that's another good sign. Step 4, take it to a professional coin grader. Don't just list it on eBay for $5, get a real expert to verify it. You could be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. The next time you get a penny in your change, don't just toss it aside. That tiny coin could be your ticket to $1 million payday. The 2018 Lincoln penny is proof that even the smallest things can hold incredible value if you just know what to look for. Check your change, go through that jar of pennies you've been ignoring, and start hunting. And if you find a 2018 penny that looks suspiciously rare, don't hesitate, get it checked out. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll be bringing you more hidden gems in the coin world, helping you turn pocket change into life-changing money. Drop a comment below if you've ever found an unusual coin or if you're starting your own coin collecting journey. Who knows? You might just be the next lucky collector to cash in big. Alright, folks, gather around because today we're diving into the wild world of pocket change that could make you a millionaire. Imagine this, you're rummaging through an old jar of coins, maybe looking for enough change to grab a coffee, and boom! You come across a 1966 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. You think, just another penny, but what if I told you that penny could be worth $1.4 million? Yeah, you heard me right. A little copper coin that's been rolling around in people's pockets, couch cushions, and probably a few washing machines could be your golden ticket. So, stick around because I'm going to break down what makes this penny so special, how to spot one, and how you can turn loose change into serious cash. Plus, I'll throw in a story about how I almost tossed away a rare coin myself. First off, let's talk about the no mint mark part. Back in 1966, the US Mint was doing something a little weird. They stopped using mint marks altogether for 3 years, 1965 to 1967. So technically, every penny from this year has no mint mark. But, and this is a big but, only certain ones have that magic combination of rarity, condition, and error that make them worth serious cash. Some of these pennies were struck with what's called a special mint set, SMS, finish, meaning they have a sharper strike and almost proof-like appearance. Others have rare errors, like double diabursts, where Lincoln's face or the lettering looks slightly doubled, or off-center strikes, which collectors go absolutely crazy for. Alright, let's say you're holding a 1966 penny in your hand right now. Here's what you need to check for. If your penny looks like it's been through a blender, chances are it's not the one. The highest value goes to pennies in mint state condition, MS67 or higher, or special mint set versions. Get a magnifying glass and check the lettering and Lincoln's profile. If you see a doubled image, you might have a rare variety. If your penny looks a little off, with the design pushed to one side, it could be an error coin worth thousands. Most 1966 pennies weigh 3.11 grams, but if you happen to find one with a different weight, it could mean it was struck on the wrong planchet, making it rare. The reason one of these pennies sold for $1.4 million is because it was in pristine condition, had a stunning SMS finish, and had just the right combination of rarity and demand. Coin collectors, especially those who are deep into Lincoln cents, are willing to pay insane amounts for top-tier coins. And when something is one of a kind, it drives the price even higher. Imagine you have an old baseball card from the 60s. If it's crumpled up, it might be worth a few bucks. But if it's in mint condition, signed by a legend, and there are only a handful in existence? That's where the big money is. And now, let me tell you a little story. A few years back, I was cleaning out my car, and like any responsible adult, I had a collection of loose change living in my cup holder. I spotted an old penny, thought, meh, just a penny, and almost flicked it out the window. But something made me stop. I remembered a video I watched about rare pennies. So, I took a closer look, and guess what? It was a 1972 double die penny worth about $600. Not quite $1 million, but still, I almost threw away free money. Since then, I've been checking every single penny that comes my way, and trust me, so should you. So, there you have it. The 1966 no mint mark Lincoln penny, an unassuming little copper coin that could be hiding in your spare change, just waiting to make you rich. If you've got a jar of pennies sitting around, now is the time to go through them. Who knows? You might just find a piece of history worth $1.40 million. Before you run off to check your change, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe for more coin collecting tips, and let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin before. Have you been sitting on a fortune without even realizing it? Let's talk about it. Hey there, coin lovers and treasure hunters. Imagine this: you're digging through your pocket change, maybe about to buy a coffee, and you spot a penny that looks just like any other. But wait, this little coin, a simple 1991 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. That's right, folks. 1 cent could make you a millionaire. So, before you toss that penny into a tip jar or let it disappear into your couch cushions, stick around because today, we're diving deep into why this coin is so valuable, what to look for, and how you might just strike gold, or in this case, copper. Well, typically, pennies struck in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, so you might be thinking, isn't that normal? And you'd be right. But here's where it gets interesting. The rare 1991 no mint mark penny that's worth a small fortune has some unique characteristics that set it apart. First, let's talk about its composition. Most 1991 pennies are made of copper-plated zinc. However, some rare errors and special strikes have been discovered where the coin was mistakenly struck on a solid copper planchet. This mistake creates a heavier penny with a distinct look. If you ever pick up a 1991 penny and think, this feels a little different, don't ignore that gut feeling. Grab a scale. If it weighs around 3.11 grams instead of the usual 2.5 grams, you might just have a jackpot in your hands. And now, let's get into why these rare pennies sell for so much. The most expensive one recorded went for $1.5 million at auction. Why? Because coin collectors love rare mistakes, especially ones that aren't supposed to exist. It's like finding an unopened first edition comic book at a garage sale for $1 and then realizing it's worth a fortune. Minting errors, especially ones as rare as this, are highly sought after in the numismatic world. Speaking of rare finds, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, a buddy of mine, let's call him Mike, was going through his old coin collection from childhood. He had this shoebox filled with random pennies, nickels, and what he thought was just a bunch of change. I joked with him, saying, "Dude, maybe you've got $1 million penny in there." We laughed it off until he pulled out a 1991 penny that looked a little different. We waited, researched it, and turns out, he had a rare variant worth thousands. It wasn't quite $1.5 million, but let's just say Mike treated us to some very fancy steak dinners that night. Moral of the story? Never underestimate your pocket change. First, don't clean it. Collectors want coins in their natural state, so scrubbing it with soap and water could actually decrease its value. Instead, place it in a coin holder or a soft cloth to keep it safe. Next, take it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll verify if it's the real deal and give it an official grade, which will determine just how valuable it really is. From the mysterious $1 million 1991 penny to why you should always check your pocket change before spending it. Who knows? You might be sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins, hidden treasures, and how to spot rare gems in your everyday change, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to like this video and drop a comment below. Maybe you've got a rare find of your own to share. Hey there, coin hunters. Imagine reaching into your pocket for some spare change and pulling out a penny that could make you a millionaire. Sounds crazy, right? But hold on to your coin jars, because today, we're talking about a 1997 D Lincoln penny that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. That's right, one single penny that could buy you a house, a fancy sports car, and still leave you enough for a luxury vacation. Now, before you start flipping over every penny you come across, stick with me because I'll tell you exactly why this coin is so valuable, what to look for, and how you can make sure you don't miss out on a potential fortune sitting in your pocket change. Plus, I'll share a funny story about the time I almost gave away a valuable coin without realizing it. Well, like many valuable coins, it's all about errors, rarity, and condition. This particular penny falls into the category of rare mint errors, and collectors go absolutely wild for these. The 1997 D Lincoln penny that hit the $1 million jackpot has a very specific die error. This means that during the minting process, something went wrong, making it one of a kind. The most well-known version of this rare penny has a double die obverse, meaning Lincoln's profile and the lettering are slightly doubled. It's subtle but clear under magnification. Another possible error involves a misaligned die, which can cause the design to be slightly off-center. If you've got one of these, you might just have a golden, well, coppered ticket. Even if you have a 1997 D penny with an error, condition matters a lot. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with MS, mint state, 65 or higher being the most valuable. That means no scratches, no discoloration, and definitely no trips through the washing machine. A perfect example of this coin in top condition was auctioned for a record-breaking $1.7 million because it had an extremely rare error and was in pristine shape. Now, let me tell you about a time when I almost made the biggest mistake of my life. A few years ago, I was sorting through some old change and found a penny that looked different. It had some weird doubling on the letters, and something about it just seemed off. Of course not. I tossed it into a tip jar at my local coffee shop like a total amateur. Fast forward a month later, I found out that a rare penny from that same year had just sold for thousands. I went back to that coffee shop like a detective, asking the cashier if they had seen any unusual pennies. Let's just say they thought I had lost my mind. Check your change before you give it away. If you think you have one of these 1997 D Lincoln pennies, here's what you need to do. Look for signs of doubling on Lincoln's face or letters. Is the design off-center? That could be a key error. If it looks flawless, you're in business. Send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to confirm its value. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers are your best bet for high-value coins. The 1997 D Lincoln penny that could be worth a whopping $1.7 million. Just imagine what you could do with that kind of money. And now, before you rush off to dig through your couch cushions, make sure you hit that subscribe button for more tips on valuable coins, collecting strategies, and how to spot the next big jackpot in your pocket change, and hey, drop a comment below if you've ever found a weird or interesting coin. Who knows, you might be sitting on a fortune and not even know it. Alright, folks, listen up. What if I told you that a single penny, yes, that little copper coin you ignore at the bottom of your pocket, could make you a millionaire? Sounds like a scam, right? Well, stick around, because today we're diving into one of the rarest and most valuable pennies ever, the 1972 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, currently valued at a jaw-dropping $1.80 million. Yep, and by the end of this video, you'll be checking every penny in your couch cushions. Trust me, I'm at my local grocery store, fumbling with some change at the checkout. The guy behind me, clearly in a rush, sighs loud enough to be heard in the next county. I drop a penny, he groans, and I jokingly say, hey, what if that's $1 million penny? The cashier laughs, the guy rolls his eyes, and I walk out. But guess what? That penny could have been worth a fortune, and that brings us to the 1972 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. More specifically, a double die obverse error. Fancy term, right? It basically means the coin's design was accidentally stamped twice, causing a noticeable doubling effect on the lettering and the date. If you've got a 1972 penny with extra thick letters or a blurry-looking "In God We Trust," congratulations! You might just have a life-changing piece of copper. Most 1972 pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and Philly didn't use a mint mark back then. So, not every 1972 no-mint mark penny is worth a fortune. But, if you find one with a strong double die error, buckle up, because collectors are willing to throw some serious cash your way. First, grab a magnifying glass. You know, that thing your grandma used to read fine print on her cereal box. Look closely at Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date 1972. If the letters look doubled, that's your first clue. Second, check for condition. The higher the grade, the higher the value. A mint state, MS65, 1972 double die obverse penny is the one fetching those $1 million price tags. But even if yours is a little worn, it could still be worth thousands. The Holy Grail, worth up to $1.80 million. MS60 to MS64, still a solid find, ranging from $10,000 to $100,000 if it's been passed around in people's pockets. Expect anywhere from $100 to $1,000. Not too shabby for a coin that originally cost a single cent. Do not grab a toothbrush and start scrubbing. Coin collectors are picky, and cleaning a rare coin can actually lower its value. Next, get it professionally graded. Companies like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, will authenticate your coin and give it an official rating. This is a must if you want top dollar. Then, consider auction houses like Heritage Auctions or selling through online marketplaces like eBay. Just be wary of scammers, there are a lot of fake rare coins floating around. Before you go tearing through your piggy bank, remember, these rare coins are hard to find. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't look. People have literally found $1 million pennies in pocket change before. And even if you don't land a $1.8 million coin, you might stumble upon a different rare penny worth a nice chunk of cash. The incredible story of the 1972 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a humble little coin that could turn an average Joe into a millionaire overnight. If you learned something new today, smash that like button, subscribe for more coin hunting tips, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. And hey, next time you drop a penny, maybe pick it up, because who knows? That 1 cent could be your golden ticket.